Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Hookah Unlimited. My name is Sarkis, and this time I decided to start up with this perspective. I hope you guys are fine with that, and I just want to get into the nitty gritty of the normal pack because that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Featuring for the normal pack is going to be the Overdozz's 24 Carotene. Shout out to my boy Mythic Clouds. So I hope he's happy to hear that. Okay, so Overdozz is a new tobacco brand, and it features a medium cut, and something special about this guy is that it actually lasts 2.5 hours when you pack it correctly, even in a bowl about this size, or even smaller than this. So let's get started with figuring out the normal pack. The Hookah Unlimited starter mat features the density level chart and helps you figure out exactly how to achieve specific pack methods. The normal pack, which Overdozz is featured in as a heavy normal pack, is achieved by getting 75% of a dense pack, and a dense pack is achieved by getting 90% of a cement pack. So just as always guys, we start with a cement pack. So let's get started. Before we get started, of course, let's go ahead and zero it out this time so it's a little bit easier. 124 grams as always, because I'm using the same exact bowl for the sake of consistency, so that we could remove as many variables as possible and make sure the constant is only the pack. Let's achieve that cement pack. As always, we're going to start loading by simply putting as much tobacco as the bowl can take and smashing it down until it's to the brim. The reason why it's important to make sure that each tobacco brand is measured individually and not just assumed is because if you guys notice, some brands are juicier than others, and some brands the leaves are heavier. It's because of the way that they've been processed and the way they've been made, really. So certain brands will take up more juice, the leaves will be a little fluffier. There'll also be the fact that every brand uses a different casing process and a different leaf. And we're gonna go ahead and fill in every single gap. We don't want any gaps anywhere. We want it to be mushy to the brim. We don't want any room. And one of the ways you know that you have a cement pack is if you press a little bit, the other sides start coming up because there's just no more room. And the measure here, guys, of course, is at the rim. Okay. Grab your tobacco, and then using the same method as we've been using this entire time, sprinkle the shisha into the bowl a little bit at a time, separating the leaves as it falls into place. Now this time around, because you're going to be using more tobacco than before, we're going to be going over the rim. We're going to keep it at a fluff state, but it's going to go over the rim just a tad bit at a fluff state. Once we press that down, massage it down to the rim, we will have the correct normal pack using Overdozz tobacco. To do this, simply just anchor your knuckle on the edge of the rim and press down and massage it down into place. This way each leaf can fall into place, and it's in the little crevices that you've created with a fluff pack. Simply push the tobacco around, keeping it at rim level. That is the key right here. And for reference sake, in case you did want a underpack or a slight underpack, which we'll get into in a future video, you would start your cement pack at the level of an underpack that you're intending at the end result, and you would make sure that this pack is at the same level. If you pay close attention to the actual pack, there are areas of air gaps all around, evenly distributed. There's some parts where you actually see all the way through to the bottom of the bowl, because a normal pack is not a dense pack. It's not becoming a dense pack yet, and will as we go into more denser variations of the density level guide. From the normal pack state, to achieve a light normal pack, all you have to do is remove about the same amount of space of the tobacco as you did before. If you're gonna eyeball it, which I recommend you do, you would just take out the same about the same amount that you did in the previous pack methods that you attempted. So when it comes to a normal pack, it's going to be about a gram, maybe 1.5 grams, which should be showcased on a scale. It should be able to register it unlike before, it wouldn't be able to register the gram. There, sorry, 2 grams. Still calculating its number, and that should be about the correct amount. You have a nice little gap, and the total amount should be about 2, maybe 3% of the amount of tobacco that's going into creating the normal pack. From here, just as always, go ahead and redistribute the shisha. Make sure it's evenly dispersed. Make sure it's nice and tidy. Now, as you distribute the tobacco, you're going to notice it's going to start looking closer to the semi-fluff plus pack that we showed last week, but it's going to be a little bit more fluffier and a little bit more, actually a little more heavier than the semi-fluff plus. The difference being about a couple of grams in this particular bowl. Now, it will vary from bowl to bowl depending on the size of your bowl. And this, my friends, would be a light normal pack. From here, if you want to go ahead and go into a heavy normal pack, you go ahead and add the amount of tobacco you took out so that you could achieve a normal pack status. Pack it back in and simply add the same amount of tobacco that you took out before to make it a light normal pack. It was about that much. So notice, guys, we're working with pinches, but unlike the semi-fluff and the fluff pack videos, I'm grabbing a tiny bit more than we did before. We're gonna go ahead and put it back into the bowl, distribute it, make sure everything is nice and even. And once that's complete, we have a proper heavy normal pack. From a heavy normal pack, if you add exactly the same amount of tobacco as you did before, about this much, and redistribute the tobacco again, making sure that it's still at rim level, you're not pressing it down more than you need to. And if you notice, the slightest move of the tobacco leaves will reveal that the bowl is still almost exposed underneath. It's still not quite dense. Adding another pinch, another 1.5 grams, maybe 2 grams, will take it to a semi-dense, but we'll reserve that for next week. Alright guys, that completes our tutorial for how to execute a normal pack in all its variations. If you like what I'm doing, if you want me to continue, please comment, share the video, and catch me on Instagram, Facebook, and the Hookah Unlimited group, and Discord. Have a good one, guys. Thank you for watching.